Hey Team Impact! My name is Erin Naku, for those of you that do not officially know me, and this is
Aaron Naku, husband.
my husband. So a lot of you guys have met him, but we are super excited to bring some of this information to you because this is our brand new training series and duplication system that we've come up with. Aaron's going to kind of share a little bit about himself, but it's called Built to Last. And there is meaning behind the title of this duplication system because we are building an organization to last. We have always believed that this is our retirement plan, no matter what's happened. Aaron is on board completely and has really kind of partnered with me to try to figure out how to grow our organization, how to create the empire that we want for our future and for our family's future and our legacy for our kids, and how to teach you guys to do the same. It's one of the hardest things in this business. I'm sure if you've been in this business, you've understood that to a degree. So we are super excited just to quickly share our simple stories about what the history is of my business, who he is, and what he can bring for you guys and for me, and how we plan to bring that to you as a team and as a part of Team Impact. So a little bit about myself. I actually joined Meridian & Fields over 4 years ago, but have been working this business for the past 4 years as of June of this year. I feel like for a long time, I've been kind of burning my gears, available 24/7. Honestly, for a lot of you guys that joined me at the beginning, and he would have to probably agree with me on this, is maybe I wasn't really showing you guys a system that you guys would want to duplicate. I heard a lot of the time that I would love to do it, but I can't do it like Aaron. And it's never allowed me to lose my vision, my drive, my passion, my reason for building this business. But I can tell you that it's truly probably because I haven't been able to find a system for myself or a system to share with you guys that can help us build this business without feeling like it's burning us out.
And I can resonate with that. So last week, she and I were talking over her business. And me being a business owner for over 19 years, I understand the frustrations in the service industry in general, but not to mention what she's currently doing. So a lot of you might know me, a lot of you might not, and most of you probably don't know either who I am or what I do. But I have been in business for over 19 and a half years. And for the first six and a half years, I burned my gears also a lot of time. And so I resonated by watching her struggle, but we haven't really put our heads together yet to come up with something that actually can be helpful for both you and the team that's watching and helping us. So,
one of the things that we kind of talked through when he's saying talk, it was in Cabo last week. We just were wined and dined with the Lead the Way program. And really what that kind of will show you is that I've never lost my passion. I've never lost my reason to want to do this. I have always wanted anybody and everybody who is a part of my organization to be as successful and honestly more successful than we are. I am not at the top and teaching all these people below me. It is just something that I can give to you guys and let you build your empires and your legacies aside from me. You know, our success does not determine the level of success that you guys can have. And so that's something that you guys should be super, super excited about. Use this as an example, because if you want to be wined and dined, we can show you how to do that. But ultimately, I think it is to build a lasting organization that is not going to go away. And so quickly, I want to kind of share a couple numbers with you. It's really going to kind of put some things into perspective of where and what I've done in the last 4 years, and what I'm really going to work towards in regards to goals in the coming 4 years and beyond, obviously. My personal enrolled and sponsored consultants direct to me in the last 4 years has been about 60-ish. We've lost a couple, so I can't give you the exact number, but based on what I can see from my vital signs and pulse, that's about what we could calculate. I am currently showing 45 direct business partners in Pulse. So we've had the attrition of about 15 consultants over the last 4 years. I average about 10 to 12 EC legs, executive consultant legs, every single month. So that's a ratio of about 22 to 27% of my consultants that I've sponsored are working consultants. I have a total number of consultants on Team Impact of 164 as of right now. Last year, at the beginning of the year, we were almost topped out at about 200. And so you can kind of see from these numbers what the word attrition means. And that means naturally in any business, you're going to have people who fall off, right? People who necessarily were never going to work the business or whatnot. But if you're not continually sponsoring and bringing new people on, that number kind of either stays the same, or like what happened to Team Impact is that we really didn't duplicate last year on the latter half of the year. And I'm telling you this to be completely open and vulnerable, that you're not alone, but that we are doing this right alongside with you. I have, out of that 164 consultants on Team Impact, we have 61 of you guys who bring in some sort of PSQV volume of $100 or more. Basically, we did that based on what would normally come in from an average PC order. And so if you are bringing in at least one PC order a month, you're included in that 61 consultants. We average about 20-ish executive consultant legs in our entire organization. And the ratio of basically the number of total consultants and the number of working consultants on Team Impact is actually 37.2%. And when I told Aaron that, I was like, actually, that's a really good number. I'm really proud of that number. That's a good thing for Team Impact, because the average of what they say from a corporate standpoint is about a third of who is in your organization is what you can plan on working the business. And that's a national, from a headquarters statistic, 30%. So we're a little bit above that, and I always take that as a win. So the conclusion from these numbers that I want you guys to see is that there's a couple things that this could be caused by. Either the wrong people are being recruited into this business, or the right people are being recruited into the business but at the wrong time. Okay, so think about those terms. Either the wrong people, or it's the right people but the wrong time. And so the question is that I've been pondering the last 4 years, and what he's really going to help us do is, how do we get the right people recruited into our organization at the right time, and to get them up and going so we can take that statistic of working consultants into a far higher percentage for us, where we're working more smart and using our time wisely and not burning our gears.
And this is where I come in. As a husband, it was hard. I don't mind supporting her in any endeavor she does. But the difficult part was watching her continually pouring her heart and soul, and then at the end of it, seeing 37% are actually taking that. And a majority of them are either not working the business or they end up dropping off. And so I don't mind all the hours that we put forth, as long as we get something back in return. When I'm sitting here looking and we're talking over Kava, I'm like, honey, you have a great business. But look at the amount of hours, and if we calculated up all the hours of her last 4 years really actively working the business, how many hours, I hate to use the word wasted, but how many hours did not actually yield any benefit for the consultant or for us? And that's not a win-win for anybody. I can resonate. Like I said to you guys back before, the first 6.5 years, I would help a lot of my clients, I would frustrate others. And by the way, a little side note, I run my own business where I'm kind of like a consultant / personal coach. I help people with weight loss, exercise.
He's my personal coach, clearly.
So for me, I get to pour into people's lives and help them change their world, physically, emotionally, spiritually, relationally, financially, doesn't really matter. My job is to come in and to help them become all they can be. And so as you guys can see, I got frustrated the first 6 years, pouring my heart and soul into hundreds of people and not seeing much return. People didn't lose weight, people would drop off, people wouldn't show up for schedules. I would be up some, I lose some, and I got so sick and tired of the same system. And so like we have to take a step back and go, there's something broken in how we're doing the system. What does that look like? Well, guys, back in about 2012, 2013, I went through a client intake course, spent over $13,000 in about a 9-month period of time. And that system revolutionized my entire business. I had to learn a whole new way of approaching and thinking. Yes, it can be duplicatable. Because the bottom line was, when I was in a class with about 19 other specialists like me, we all left and my business grew almost, would you say, 200 to 300%, literally.
It was actually kind of insane, because we actually would laugh a little bit of how quickly it was growing in a good way, meaning something he was doing and learning was producing results for the first time. It was almost eye-opening of how crazy that could be.
Guys, I want to express something. This is right after the 2008 market crash. So people didn't have discretionary income. So put this to your head. People had no money as a general rule, and yet my business grew 200 to 300% during the lowest time of what people call a recession of the early 2000s, right? So if I'm growing, and if I can teach that same growing process that is duplicatable and sustainable, why not try and help her? The hard part was us really sitting back and saying, how can I really make this help and work for you guys, right? And the conclusion is I'm now making the money and sustaining our family in a way while still growing my passions, not feeling like I'm pouring into people who don't return back that same process. So the questions become, guys, do we have the right people at the right time?
Yep. And I think we want to do more with our time, but spend less time wasted on maybe people that don't want this business. And guys, not everybody wants this business, and that's okay. But where we want to put our energy is really linking arms with those of you on Team Impact who truly want to take and see that vision and want to take it to the next level with me, with us, because we work right alongside of you. We will never ask you to do something that we're not willing to do ourselves. And so I think what he has to bring to you and for me is something that is not my strength. And so for us to work together with our strengths of what my knowledge is in the business and what his knowledge is about really bringing the right people into our organizations is going to be priceless for us all. So
guys, let's get something straight. I'm not going to sell, I don't know much about skincare, but what I can bring is the business aspect that helps you guys grow. And the two of us together are a pretty big powerhouse. So the conclusion questions I have for you guys are this. How many of you want to grow a lifelong business? Pause and let that settle for a second. An actual successful one. How many of you are tired of putting your effort into places that don't actually produce income? Or put all that effort into people and emotional energy into people who don't reciprocate? It's the number one thing I hear from my clients. It's the number one thing I hear from a lot of her consultants is, I'm sick and tired of dragging a stubborn mule. It's like, well, then the question begs, are they the right person? And how many of you would like a system that's achievable and reproducible and duplicatable? Guys, if I could do it, and I did it back 7-8 years ago, and I have the track record to prove it, I can help to implement that not only with her, but with you guys as well, if you're interested.
Absolutely. So here is our conclusion from this video is, first of all, I want to officially introduce him. Some of you know him, but he is my power partner. He is the one that's going to come alongside of me and build what my weaknesses are and use his strengths to pour into you guys. So I'm telling you, this is one of the biggest gifts we could bring into Team Impact is his knowledge and his approach.
And guys, she challenged me last week. She's like, what are you going to do in this business? Because we were talking in the pool, and I'm like, all right. And so literally her challenge was, I want you to be a permanent part of Team Impact.
What's your goal?
I have not done that until now. We've talked, I flirted with that. So I'm literally trying to create a permanent schedule. And guys, I'm not trying to be facetious or weird. I charge a lot of money for what I do. And I'm willing to give that to you guys for those who are interested, but also for those who are going to work. I will not work with people who don't want to work. So we have some follow-up thoughts for you guys.
This is very exciting because we also remember that we're business partners, we're husband and wife, and sometimes those roles look a little different, with one another at home, which we kind of giggle about. But after a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, a lot of ideas, a lot of this and that, and pulling it all together, we are bringing you a system, a duplicatable system called Built to Last. It is going to include weekly coaching calls. You will get both Aaron and myself on coaching calls that will be scheduled with different topics to work you from the beginning of a business and a conversation with somebody all the way through to the end, as well as making sure that you're equipped and you're trained to be able to do the same thing that we've put you through with your teams. And you're going to create that system to build that down into your organization.
Guys, one of our weaknesses was we really haven't been able to follow through much. As you guys, we have life, kids, world, stress, we're running 3 businesses. But the bottom line was, if we believe in RNF and we believe in you guys, and we believe in the business that we have, she and I had to create a permanent schedule change. And so as a side note, I am taking time, and so is she, to permanently change our schedules to help you guys with what you need. That comes at a great cost for us though. So we want you guys to know that we're asking you to do something that we're willing to do, and we're going to follow through with it this time.
Absolutely. So we will have ways for you guys to schedule coaching calls. There will be a systematic approach. We're not going to bombard you with a bunch of stuff. Once you complete the first step, you'll work your way through the second step, and then you'll work your way through those coaching calls. And we don't just drop you off and leave you there. Once you get through that, you get that permanent support system to help you give this into your organization. So for those of you who may be watching this because we've sent you, that was from an invitation standpoint. But if you're happening to come across this video and you're very intrigued by this but kind of confused on where to start, please message me directly and just say, hey, I'm very interested. What does this look like? And we can talk about that. So we invite you to be a part of our Built to Last duplication system, and we are very eager and excited to coach you guys into an empire of success that you've always dreamed of. So as I say, dream big and then dream bigger. We'll see you later, guys. Bye.
See you guys.